So first things first, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm fantastic. Just arrived in Lowlands.
Well, good to have you here.
Happy to be here.
So before we get into the music you've been making, I'd like to jump back to the beginning first. Do you have a favorite movie soundtrack?
Ooh. So when I was starting to make music, I was really into like this kind of Hollywood style sound, like John Williams and James Horner. And I really liked the score to The Green Mile, Beautiful Mind. This is when I was getting like interested in more classically oriented music. But then later, I enjoy more the, what do you call it, like alternative soundtracks. Less the big orchestra stuff and more like Johnny Greenwood stuff or something like that.
In your opinion, how important is the music to film, to setting a mood?
I think music is hugely important to the movies, and or like the lack of music is equally important. One of my favorite movies from last year was Mother by Darren Aronofsky, and there was such a beautiful story there that Jóhann Jóhannsson actually made a score to that movie that he then deleted because he thought like the best score was the silence, because it would make so much tension, like, and you feel it in the movie, like there's never any moment of relaxation because there's never like a beautiful violin that comes in at any point. So the whole movie you're just like feeling almost like, or not almost, like completely uncomfortable. So like the decision, like what music, where and where not to have music are I think one of the most important decisions in filmmaking.
So for you yourself then, when you start composing, do you think about that mood, that atmosphere first, or how do you start on a track?
You mean on a movie or just on
just anything.
On a track? I usually start by like finding a sound, like experimenting either with a synthesizer or a piano and kind of finding the world for the track to live in. Because I feel like as soon as you have that, you have like these walls, and you just have to work within those walls. It makes my job a lot easier. So I usually start experimenting and just finding some nice sounds, whether it's like with preparing the piano somehow, or like putting some mics in weird places, or making some ambiences or something. And then once I have that, I have like an atmosphere, and then I ride into that atmosphere.
And so experimentation in that is quite important.
Absolutely.
Like
for me, that's everything. It's just discovering something new. Making music becomes boring if you don't discover something new each time you make a new song. So experimentation is everything.
But I can imagine. Is that difficult sometimes?
I mean, life is difficult.
Fair enough.
Sure. I mean, it's not always easy to make a song, but I'm not complaining about it because it's all a part of the process. Like, you have to go through that. I think writer's block is a part of the writing process. Like, you have to go through that hill in order to see the other side. And like a big part of the process is just getting up that hill, you know? And if you don't have a hill to go up, you don't have the view. This is becoming a strange metaphor here. But if you don't go on top of the mountain, you don't see around, you know? So you have to first climb that hill. So I think the difficult part of the creative process is actually important and necessary.
And this is interesting because I also heard you talking in other interviews about the joy of creating, and that it's not just about the finished products, but kind of it sounds very cliche, but the journey of creating. So when did you first kind of discover that you enjoyed being creative, that you wanted to pursue music in a way?
When I was just a child, I was writing some simple songs on the piano, like very young, like 5 or 6, you know, pretty shitty songs probably, but still songs. And since then, I was always I played drums and I played some instruments. I played piano, but I was always more interested in the job of the producer. And when I was a kid, I always just wanted to be a producer, because that has always been the most interesting part of the music for me. Not playing it or performing it live, but like creating it and also helping other people to create it. Just like finding that process, finding the sounds, finding the instrumentations.
So is this also, you mentioned helping others, so is that where Kiasmos also comes from?
Yeah, or just like collaboration in general. I like working with other people because you end up learning something new. Again, I want to discover something new. It's time I do something. So collaborations like Kiasmos are just a part of that. Finding. If I didn't have Janus, I would not have discovered a lot of these sounds.
This might be a difficult. Sure.
I have to sneeze. Right.
Yeah. This might be a difficult question to answer then. Can you tell me one thing that you've kind of learned about music in the last year or in the last...
I think the most important thing I learned last year, like when I was making the new album, was like a trend in my own creative making, and then I started talking to other people about it and everybody agreed, everybody feels this, is that when you're in the studio and you're writing something and nothing is happening, like you're coming up with shit ideas or you just keep scrolling down Instagram on your phone, like nothing, you're not inspired, nothing is happening, and then it's like 10 in the evening and you're like, all right, I better just go home now and try again tomorrow. That's the moment where you're just about to have the great ideas. Like that moment you feel like going home is the moment you should stay 1 hour longer, and then the good ideas come. And this is really like a rule, like every time. If you stay through that really difficult moment when you want to go home, it will be so rewarding.
So in that sense then, on your latest album, Blurred, was there a song that came together like that?
On Blurred, I don't actually remember making any of those songs.
Well, let's go to your own albums, right?
Yeah, that's more recent.
Yeah, fair enough. Was there a song that you made maybe in the last 6 months where that extra hour gave you the inspiration?
Yeah. I would say, for example, the title track of the new album, Remember, was something where I had an idea and I was playing with it, but it wasn't going anywhere. It was just like this idea that I couldn't build it up, I couldn't structure it. I remember the moment at like 3 a.m. in the morning where it like finally like clicked. And that night I ended up staying until 8 in the morning in the studio, because once that's kind of the annoying thing, like when you can only get the ideas after spending the whole day there, that means you basically start working at midnight.
In that sense, well, you kind of touched upon it already, but do you think that there's a struggle necessary in art in a way? That is...
In a way, yes. Yeah. I don't mean that you have to be depressed.
Not right.
Or sad. I don't think music and mental issues or bad things happening in our lives can have a good relationship. So I don't think that struggle is necessary. Like you don't have to lose a friend or break up with your girlfriend to make a sad song.
Right.
But I think a creative struggle is necessary, and a little bit of suffering in that sense, where you have to kind of push the limits of yourself, often over maybe prolonged periods of time, in order to create something that's not only good but great. If you've learned how to make music and you're a talented person, or you just studied a lot in music school, you can always make a good song, But if you really want to go past that point and make something that surpasses good and becomes great, I think you need to challenge the limits of your creativity. Yeah.
At this very moment, and this again, this is quite a difficult question to answer, I suppose, but at this very moment, what for you makes a great song? What does a great song mean?
A great song for me. How do I answer it? It's good. It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to answer this. I think a great song for me communicates something to the listener that is bigger than only the song. So, especially with instrumental music, you listen to the song and you don't only hear a melody and a chord progression and feel like sad or happy, but you feel like a bigger context to it just by hearing the music. I think that's what is like the true art.
Well, this is interesting. So for Remember then, is there does that context for you change over time? As you perform them live and as you...
Yeah. When you play in a live concert, you should approach it, in my opinion, totally differently than doing it on record. Like, making music for a pair of headphones or speakers is different than making music for an auditorium full of people, and therefore you should make different decisions. So in my case, and also with Kiasmos, the versions of the songs that we play live are actually totally different than the record, because when you listen to, let's take for example the Kiasmos records, a lot of people are listening to these while studying, maybe cooking at home or even cleaning the house. Whereas we play it now in a festival and people are drinking and dancing and having fun and jumping, it's just a completely different idea. Like the whole process is different.
But is there, for instance, you're playing tonight, so is there a specific feeling or mood you want to create, a specific thing you want them to kind of feel, or can...
In the live show with Kiasmos, we aim to make a party.
Okay.
Like, we want people to have a lot of fun, but we still want the music to mean something, so we don't want to take the emotions out of it. We want people to feel those emotions, but still have a lot of fun. So we really go all in with the party mode there. With my solo work in the live shows, it's not one particular feeling, but I always want the sense of wonder. Like, I want people to go in the room and feel like, wow, like it's something unique, something they haven't seen before, something that makes them curious, and something that makes everyone in that room feel like they were a part of some moment that cannot be recreated again, like they were a part of a unique moment.
Final question then, when was the last time you felt this way, where you felt, wow...
as an audience?
Well, either way, as an audience member or as an artist. That you were, that creative spark, that curiosity was...
Oof. I haven't been to a live show in a year.
Well, let me ask a different question then. Is it because now you're always on the other side?
Yeah.
So do you think about how the audience will perceive what you do?
Yeah, I obsess about it. We do all these production rehearsals with all the lights and everything. We film them, I watch them, and I try to put myself in the situation of the audience and try to design the experience. I'm definitely thinking about that. But I'm also thinking about when I'm on stage that I feel like I'm a part of them. I think for me that's important, that when I'm playing in a concert that I'm not somebody who is up here and the audience is here and they just look up at me. Like, I want to design a show that's where I feel like I'm with them and we're all just a part of some kind of gathering together.
Well, on that note, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it.
Yes.